welcome all of you to today's session. Today's session is on mindset, and this is based on a book written by Carol Dweck. In fact, we have done sessions now on how of happiness, who are you really, and now mindset. I think they are in the same series. So how of happiness talks about what are the main things which creates happiness, uh, what makes you feel happy, and then who are you really talks about what makes our personality, right? Three things: nature, nurture, and individual pursuits. And now mindset. So in mindset, today this 30-40 minutes that we will be spending, I will be sharing with you the work done by Carol Dweck and what is she saying about it. Of course, there are works of various other people like Daniel Goleman, like Brian Little, like Richard Davidson, Martin Seligman. They're all associated with it. However, mindset, I think, creates us in a path to think as to how and what are important, right? And I will be sharing, but first, let us relax our mind and body. And before that, express our gratefulness, our gratitude to Mother Universe, to anyone and everyone we are grateful for making us who we are. We do it in silence, with folded hands, in reverence. Thank you. And now we relax our mind and body before we get into the session. Good morning, Kakuli Madam.
Good morning.
I hope you can hear the sound. Listen to the music. Let the music flow into yourself. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your entire body now. Each part of your body. Say a thank you to your body. Say a thank you to your consciousness. Express your gratitude for the environment. Relax your head. your forehead, your eyes, your nostrils, your cheeks, your lips, your chin, your throat, and let the relaxation flow to your chest and to your hands. Drop your shoulders, relax your waist. Let the relaxation now flow to your stomach, your abdomen, to your waist and hips, to your thighs, knees, calf muscles, shin bone, to your ankles and heels, to the top of your feet, to the sole of your feet, your toes. Move your toes a bit. Feel the flexibility in your body, like in your mind. Relax your shoulders, the back of your shoulders. Let the muscles around your spine get relaxed. And let the relaxation flow to the top of your hips. For a moment, you are extremely light. You are as light as a cotton. As a bale of cotton, as a mass of cotton, as light as cotton can be. Feel the lightness within all parts of your body. Say thank you to your body and to this moment and to the passing moments. For this body holds you. For this moment gives you the space to be in. And whenever you are ready, gently open your eyes. Be aware of the external environment. And as I stop the music, listen to the external sounds and come back to awareness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, good morning, Sneha ji. and thank you for being there. So today's topic that we will be discussing is mindset. Morning. And this is again based on a book, as I was saying, of mindset, and this is written by Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck is a psychologist and from Stanford University, and she has done path-breaking researches on mindset, what is important, what makes up our mindset, and she has done the researches in all fields. She has done researches in business, she has done researches in education, she is done research on mindset in the field of parenting, in the field of growing up people, in the field of sports, right? So today's concept is mindset, and I will be sharing with you certain very interesting points that she has brought out. Of course, she has also been showing her gratitude towards Daniel Goleman and other psychologists from whom she has taken help or support in doing this research. So first discussion is what is mindset? What is mindset? And primarily today we will be talking about maybe relationship and the words that we speak. So what do you mean by mindset? Any thoughts? You can unmute and say, so that we can make it a little interactive and maybe we can discuss. Sonali.
That we believe in something.
Yes, belief in something. Yes, so some belief in something creates the mindset. Okay. And how mindset is, anyone else apart from Kakuli Madam? Thank you, Kakuli Madam, for that.
So this is the mindset that I'm able to speak to you, interact with you.
Yes.
I'm live. So this is again a mindset that you have focus while we are communicating, so that we can transfer the thoughts from one person to another, which will also help you to decide your mindset.
So what is mindset?
That's my way of belief.
Your way of belief. Okay. So what we believe, what we think, our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs. So
as
that
surrounding, as per the experience, we have certain thought process that we will have in our mind, and we make ourselves, and that is what our mindset is.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Yes, Devashish. Thank you, Sonali.
Yeah. So Partho, I think mindset is firstly we have. I think that mindset is unique to a person, right? It varies from person to person.
Yes, yes.
And it's a pattern or a set of behavior that determines the person's reflection of mind when he speaks, when he acts, when he does anything, right? And it has been developed over a period of time based on the conditioning that the person has undergone in as Sonali was talking about the experiences, right? So we'll start with this. I think there are more to know from.
Yes. So yes, absolutely. Yes, Deepak bhai, anything that you want to share?
No, already Sonali Madam, Kakuli Madam, even Devashish ji has said. I was going to say same thing. संस्कार जो होते हैं हमारे ऊपर, सोसाइटी, पेरेंट्स, रिलेटिव्स, उनसे कुछ इनपुट्स जो आती है, वहाँ भी इंडियन लॉ है, वो भी कुछ हमारा माइंडसेट बनाता है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कुछ बनाता है, पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स कुछ बनाते हैं, उसमें से हम चुन लेते हैं कुछ जो हमसे सेट होता है माइंडसेट से, तो उसके ऊपर हम अपने कुछ ये बनाते हैं, बिहेवियरल पैटर्न बनाते हैं, that is related to direct mindset.
True. So beliefs create mindset, or beliefs is equal to mindset. We can say, right? And Hanji,
Hello.
Hanji, Sneha ji.
Yeah, though he means Deepak sir said it's a depend upon upbringing, but from the same family and same environment. One person is having another or same brother or sisters or two brothers. One is shy, another one is a bold. Though they are
Very
living
correct.
in the same atmosphere. So I think so. It's that is the mindset, and we want to know it. Why it is
Why?
so.
Okay.
So genetics का
So,
उसमें क्या sorry
you know, for a long time, I was thinking that to have linkage between our sessions. So if you go back to How of Happiness, if you go back to Who Are You Really, if you remember those, and if you do not remember, you can go back to one of those sessions, How of Happiness, we did about 5 sessions. One very, very important thing is, so let me go back to Brian Little. He said 3 things are important in making us who we are, right? Our personality. So he says that, so if you remember biogenic is the genetic part, sociogenic is the environment where we are growing, and the third one is individual pursuits. What are we doing? What are we looking at? And we are talking of beliefs. My question to you is, we'll get into mindset in some time. Can beliefs be changed?
yes if you sincerely work on those beliefs you can change the beliefs rather
Correct.
you should work periodically on the beliefs.
Very correct, very correct. So if we get into beliefs now, the next question is, what are beliefs? So mindsets depend on beliefs, which is absolutely right. And can beliefs change? Yes, beliefs can change. Now, what are beliefs?
Programming happen.
आपका आवाज चला गया दीपक भाई.
Sorry, अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ, अभी आ रहा है.
Programming which happens due to the again beliefs made by society, beliefs created by और the जो हमने सोचा है एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में या फिर रिलेटिव्स के बारे में, उससे जो हमारा माइंडसेट बनता है, because of the programming, I am comparing with the computers.
तो आपके कोई बिलीफ आप शेयर करोगे दीपक भाई? कोई भी बिलीफ?
Beliefs can be changed.
Okay, so this is a belief that beliefs can be changed. Okay, very good.
Immediately I remember.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very good. Beliefs can be changed. So beliefs are primarily boundaries within which we work. They are boundaries, right? Say for example, beliefs can be that if there is a cat crossing the road, then the car should stop, right? In my house, earlier it was there that if there is a broomstick in front of you, you should not go out of the house. You should wait for some time. If you go out of the house at the time someone sneezes, then you should wait, sit down, don't go, right? Something breaks, you say, "Arey, aaj se ye tootna start hua," right? First day of the year is very important, and we should all do good things because that is how the other days will go. If we do whatever we do, if the first day is good of the year, then the other days will be good. These are beliefs, these are boundaries. Okay. Now, can beliefs be changed? Yes, beliefs can be changed. However, when we talk of mindsets, primarily Carol Dweck talks of 2 mindsets. And I will talk to you about something which you can probably relate to material world also. The 2 mindsets are fixed mindset and growth mindset. Now, when we talk of fixed, what are those? Or what do you mean by fixed? When I talk of fixed, forget mindset. When I talk of fixed, what comes to your mind? When I talk of fixed, what comes to your mind? And when I talk of growth, what comes to your mind? Just imagine fixed and growth. What comes to your mind? Sonali, Sneha ji, Kakuli madam. Fixed or growth, what comes to your mind? Just share. Sonali, if you are there.
Fixed. What you word use fixed.
Fixed mindset and growth mindset. So when forget mindset now. If I tell you fixed, what comes to your mind? कि क्या है
Not ready
fixed?
to change.
Okay, fixed means not ready to change, and growth.
Ready to change.
Okay,
Means accepting anything.
okay, fantastic. So now, if it is not ready to change, in what state will it be? If it is not ready to change, what state it would be? I'm going now deeper into this because
Passive
that is
stage.
passive stage. So when you talk of passive stage, what state it would be in? Sonali, thank you for sharing that, Sonali and Snehaji. So what state you will be in? Is river fixed? Is the water of river fixed?
No,
No. Is the tree fixed?
no, it's always growing.
It's always growing, right? Or changing, right? Okay, it's not fixed. And growth. Okay. So growth, you said ready to change, and fixed, you said not ready to change. Correct. Every moment, right? Every moment there is something changing in our life, in our body, in our mind. Fixed, if you see, it is a stuck state, stuck. Kahe pe atak gaye. And if you see growth, growth is a flowing, growth is moving, growth is dynamic. Mindset is also like that. Suppose a child, and there is a beautiful video also which I will be sharing with you. If a child fails in an exam, he does not do well, how do parents generally react with them? What are the words that are being told to him? They're all black boxes. If you can also sometimes, open up the video, then that would be good, because otherwise I am speaking, I can only see black box. Yes.
That is also mindset.
That is also mindset. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now, after this session, we will all say mindset, right? Right. Okay. So as I was asking that, stuck state and flowing state. When you are in a stuck state, when you are within a boundary, what happens? So I was saying that when a child does not do well in the exam, typically what do the parents say?
Ramesh, you are useless.
Yeah.
This is also a mindset.
Hmm.
Not always. It's like if-
Not always. I agree.
Yes, yes.
But
You can do
generally, we
better.
Not
talk of
everybody.
generally.
Generally.
Not always.
Wastage
I
of
agree.
money, a wastage of money, energy.
Money, energy. What have you done? 1 hour,
Just-
1 year.
Yes.
You have wasted 1 year.
1
right?
year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now see, this creates a difference in the mind or a setback in the mind of the child. He has already suffered a setback, and there is another setback which is happening from the parent side. It's coming out of love, but however, in the mindset, it is that you are useless, or money is wasted. Now, where does it hurt him the most? Where does it hurt him the most? It hurt him most in the identity. It hurts him
Sorry,
most in
Pratha,
the
I say-
identity, who I
sorry,
am.
sorry.
Because
I say it as stamping.
stamping, labeling, right? Labeling, Labeling.
Labeling.
judgmental, right? So from the child, he becomes useless. He does not remain that child. Say that child's name is Arun. Arun does not remain Arun. Arun becomes useless. So the Arun becomes useless is a change in identity which he has, and he carries it forward, right? Now, if you see, when I'm saying he is useless, it is a stuck moment. It is a fixed moment, because it is a noun, it is an adjective. So any terminologies which are noun or adjective, if you see, they are labeling, they might be labeling. They can be good also. I'm not saying it is bad, but when it's a verb, it means that it is in motion. You can carry it from some place to some place else. So the two mindsets that we are talking about are fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. And in relationship, of course, Gottman is one of the persons who has done a lot of research on relationships, and he has said that relationships or marriage breaks, or I would say it becomes bad or it deteriorates because of 4 reasons. The first is criticism. Second is contempt. Third is defensiveness. Fourth is stonewalling. I'm adding this also because it is important. Because we are talking of fixed mindset or the mindset in relationship. So 4 things are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Now, if you just look at these 4, what is common in them? Now, let us see one by one. Criticism. You are. You did not. Contempt is, he is useless. He has ruined my life, or she has ruined my life. Defensiveness. I did not mean this. Why are you talking like that? I did not mean this. I always think of the good. Stonewalling, let me keep shut. Whatever the other one wants to say, say. All these are fixed states. All these are stuck states. Right? If you see all these stuck states, if there would have been a little flow and understanding where there is growth. Now let us see one by one. Criticism. When you say, you did not do this, and as just now Deepak Bhai and Kakuli madam said, you are useless, money got wasted, right? It is now it is stuck state, which has already happened. Instead of that particular statement that you are useless, in that child case, what else could we have said? That would have probably, the child might not have studied. It's a fact. It's a fact. There can be different reasons of how he's not studying. But what else could we have said that would have reflected a growth mindset or a different mindset?
अब की बार फेल हुआ तो क्या हुआ? अगली बार देख सकते हैं ना?
Yeah, you can do better next time.
Right.
So
Study hard.
Study hard.
सिर्फ 3 घंटे एग्जाम के आपका लाइफ और आपका डिसीजन तो नहीं कह सकते. समय फिर से आएगा, हम फिर से कोशिश करेंगे. Let's try again.
Right. So these are what Kakuli madam and Shonali madam said. These are mindsets which encourages a person that, okay, there is life ahead of you. Right. For the person, when you say you are useless, what did you do? Life stops for him that moment. He freezes. Time freezes because that words make him freeze, stuck. Now, if you see in relationships, especially during, these four things which I said, criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling are the relationship issues which actually create breakages or unhappiness in relationships. I'm not only talking of marriages, I'm talking of relationships. Now, let us talk of issues where relationship breaks. Where relationship breaks.
Misunderstandings.
In fact, in this book, what I always encourage is buying this book and reading this book. There are beliefs which, yes, my life ends here. Living death. I do not know how many of you have heard of this word, living death. He dies the moment there is a break, as if that was the life, and without that, end of life would be there. And what else happens? Now look at these words. The woman he loved was a bad person. He was a bad person and drove her away. The relationship was bad and irreparable. Aren't these words very common that we hear? If there is a breakup, why did it break up? How many times have we heard that, they have taken a relation? I think they were not compatible to each other. It was not going well within them, and they have decided to separate. It's a lovely way and move on in life. It's a lovely way of even saying or taking a particular situation. The other way is, if it is the boy's side, the girl was bad. If it is the girl's side, the boy was bad. And what happens is, for lifelong now, these two relationships, of course, it is separated, they're broken. I know it is might be easier said than done, but however, if you see, life gets stuck when you freeze certain things. Now, the statements I will just tell you. If you are a winner, there is something that you will say. Misunderstandings, yes. If you're a winner, what will you say? It didn't work out for me. And if you're a loser, what would you say? It did not work out. It is an environment whole. And if you're a loser, growth mindset, you will say, he, she, the other person, pointing out to the external environment. In a fixed mindset, we look at opportunities. Sorry, in a growth mindset, we look at opportunities. In fixed mindset, we'll look at what blame game. Yes, absolutely. And in a fixed mindset, we don't look at opportunities. Future is not there. We cannot see the path ahead. We always see where we are standing. Right? Now, in some schools, and there is a school, I will just show a video. There are a couple of videos which I will be sharing. I will not be playing the, I will not be recording it. I will be sharing the link separately. Or we can play it also, I don't know. So if you see, it's a talk by Carol Dweck. Now she talks of something, I will not tell the summary. In many schools now, these are how the children are treated. So I will just share that video with all of you.
Power of yet. I learned of a high school in Chicago where students had to pay.
Is it audible?
Yes.
Thank you. Today, I want to tell you about the power of yet. I learned of a high school in Chicago where students had to pass 84 units to graduate. And if they didn't pass, they got the grade not yet. I thought, isn't that wonderful? Because if you fail, you're nowhere. But if you get the grade not yet, you're on a learning curve. Not yet gave them a path into the future. And not yet also helped me understand a critical experience early in my career. To figure out how kids coped with challenge, I gave 10-year-olds some problems that were a little too difficult for them. Some of them reacted in a shockingly positive way. They said things like, "I love a challenge," or "I was hoping this would be informative." They understood that their abilities could grow through their hard work. They had what I call a growth mindset. But other children, for them it was tragic, catastrophic. From their more fixed mindset perspective, their core intelligence had been tested and devastated. Instead of the power of yet, they were gripped by the tyranny of now. So, what did they do next? In one study, after a failure on a test, they said they'd cheat next time instead of study more. In another study, they found someone who did worse than they did so they could feel better. And in many studies, we found they run from difficulty. Let's look at how that looks in the brain. Mosher and his colleagues measured from the brain as kids encountered errors. Processing the error shows up in red. If you look at the fixed mindset brain on the left, nothing is happening. But if you look at the growth mindset brain on the right, it's on fire with yet. They're processing the error deeply, learning from it, and correcting it. So, how are we raising our kids? Are we raising them for now or for yet? Are they focused on the next A or test score instead of dreaming big, instead of thinking about what they want to be and how they want to contribute to society? And if they are too focused on A's and test scores, are they going to carry this with them into the future? Maybe because many employers are coming to me and saying, we've already created a generation of young workers who can't get through the day without an award. So, what can we do? How can we build that bridge to yet? First, we can praise wisely. Our research shows that when we praise kids for the process they engage in, their hard work, their strategies, their focus, their perseverance, they learn that challenge seeking, they learn that resilience. Praising talent, praising intelligence makes them vulnerable. There are other ways of rewarding yet. We teamed up with game scientists at the University of Washington to create a math game, Brain Points. The typical math game rewards right answers right now, but not brain points. We rewarded process and the learning curve, so effort, strategy, and progress. The Brain Points game created more sustained learning and greater perseverance than the standard game. And just the words yet and not yet after a student has a setback, we're finding creates greater confidence and greater persistence. We also can change students' mindsets directly. In one study, we taught students that every time they pushed out of their comfort zone to learn something really, really hard and they stuck to it, the neurons in their brain could form new, stronger connections, and over time, they could become smarter. Those who learned this lesson showed a sharp increase in their grades. Those who did not showed a decrease. We have done this with thousands of students now across the country with similar results, especially for struggling students. So let's talk about equality. In our country, there are groups of kids who chronically show poor performance, and many people think that's inevitable. But when educators create growth mindset environments steeped in yet, equality can happen. Let me just give you a few small examples. One teacher took her Harlem kindergarten class, many of whom could not hold a pencil for the first month, through daily tantrums. She took them to the 95th percentile on the National Achievement Test. That same teacher took a 4th grade class in the South Bronx, way behind. She took them to the top of New York State on the state math test. That teacher is a Stanford grad, and she's here today. And another Stanford grad, a PhD student, Stephanie Freiberg, now a professor, went back to her Native American reservation in the state of Washington. She transformed the elementary school in terms of a growth mindset. That school had always been at the bottom of the district, at the bottom of the state. Within a year to a year and a half, the kindergartners and first graders were at the top of the district in reading and reading readiness. That district contained affluent sections of Seattle, so the reservation kids outdid the Microsoft kids. And they did it because learning a growth mindset transformed the meaning of effort and difficulty. It used to mean they were dumb, and now it means they had a chance to get smarter. Difficulty just meant not yet. Last year, I got a letter from a 13-year-old boy. He said, "Dear Professor Dweck, I read your book already. I like the fact that it was based on sound scientific research. That's why I decided to test out your growth mindset principles in 3 areas of my life. As a result, I'm earning higher grades. I have a better relationship with my parents. I have a better relationship with the other kids at school. I realize I've wasted most of my life." Let's not waste any more lives, because the more we know that basic human abilities can be grown, the more it becomes a basic human right for kids, all adults, to live in environments that create that growth, to live in environments filled, overflowing with yet. Thank you.
Any thoughts? Thank you, Deepak ji. And so here, not yet. Yes, Devashish.
Yeah, Partha, I was just trying to draw a parallel with, our systems in India. Because, I mean, we have understood that it's, the how a growth mindset could be created in their kind of environment. In our system, when we are involved in, let us say, education of the underprivileged children, the fact of the matter is that, to create a growth environment, the environment conducive to a growth mindset, that becomes so much so difficult, right? So, yeah, I think we can take a cue from that, but, I was just trying to identify that maybe there are going to be things which are a little different in our meaning and perspective in Indian context to make the growth mindset happen. So we'll have to think there. Yeah.
Yeah. What I think is, okay, I totally accept it, because yes, and I know street children and underprivileged children, and there are families are below the poverty line, where poverty and hunger and livelihood becomes a major challenge. Their growth mindsets are difficult. I would rather say that while it is difficult there, and while organizations like Traces of Innocence and so many other organizations, I know of an organization called Nognat and Traces of Innocence, while they are doing so much to help this come up across, even if we can start talking to people ourselves from the growth mindset point, or making that one shift with the people we interact either in our daily lives, that would also create a change. I would look into this way, that wherever, so they are far away, right? They are far away, they're difficult. Wherever there are people near to us or near journey, we can bring the shift in them. Because you see, if I shift the mentality belief of one person, that one person can move it to another two persons, and that way some kind of spiral effect will happen. As far as this is concerned, there are various stories that we have, and today, Devashish, you would agree the kind of NGOs that are coming up for working for this underprivileged children is itself an example of growth mindset which they are exhibiting, right? It is not easy. I know how Devi Rani, right? How Rani and her father and you and many of you, how you are working on it. That is itself a growth mindset. As far as the education system is concerned, I will leave it aside for the time being, but let me get back to the relationship. I wanted to show this video so that we get a glimpse of growth mindset. If I go into the relationship, also not yet can be working very well. And you see, I was speaking to one of the, while I was counseling, I was speaking to one of the ladies who had an issue with in her family. And I really, when I was speaking to her and she said, you know, I expected this to happen. So she had an ideal husband in mind. The husband had an ideal wife in mind. So there were 4 people present in the marriage, not 2 people, right? They looked at each other differently. And you see from a fixed mindset, he's not this and he's not this, right? So one more thing which I think can shift from fixed mindset to growth mindset is a very clear communication. Very clear communication where the identity, instead we have talked of neurological levels. I don't have time today to talk about it. Maybe the next session, next day, I will be anyway continuing with mindset in sports and in education. I will talk about the neurological levels. So we move from one level to the higher levels, right? From environment to the purpose. If our purpose is set, then everything will be set. Then our beliefs will change. If our beliefs change, then our capability change, right? So when we change, when we look at the capabilities, it is easier to work than when we work on identities. We change an identity is very difficult, but to work on capability is a little easier. And it can only happen when there is the mindset. Mindset is the belief, which is higher at level.
Change in identity mane?
Identity,
I didn't get
Amike, who am I? Who am I? So Kakuli Madam, Kakuli Sina is an identity, right? Who is Kakuli Sina is an identity. But Kakuli Sina can cook is a capability. Kakuli Sina talks well is a behavior, is a capability and a behavior. She can guide people, that's a behavior. She can, so capability, behaviors are easy. Capability is easier to change. However, identity is difficult to change. Where we need to work is on the beliefs of the people. And beliefs can change in 3 ways. Beliefs, the 3 ways where belief can change is when you work on the foundation of belief. Foundation of belief. Second is when you create an awareness that there are more possibilities, more choices. The third is when you change your behavior, which changes the belief. Say, for example, Deepak Bhai comes and tells me that, Partha, you know, we can travel 10 kilometers. I said, it's very warm. Deepak Bhai, we cannot work. I cannot work because I think I will faint. But if he tells me that, you know, we can walk this 10 kilometers by taking rest and moving ahead in pits, if you break it into 2 pieces, 5 pieces, will you be able to do it? I might say yes. And once I do it, my belief that walking 10 kilometers is not possible might change. So behaviors can also change beliefs, right? And a fixed to growth mindset, again, as I say, from a stuck to flowing, starts from the person who is bringing in the change. From the beginning in the change.
So Partho, one thing on this, I mean, quickly, that there is a sociological element to this whole thing, right? I mean, we
Of
cannot,
course.
as an individual,
Of course.
we can do as much as we can do, right? So let's say, you know, in the country of Bhutan, okay, or in the happier countries, I mean, the key motivators itself sociologically are defined little differently. They have made it a point, right? For instance,
Yes.
we today in a capitalistic kind of a formation, we always believe that money is the biggest motivator. Even
Yes.
I've heard kids that, you know, what is your biggest motivation? No, I want to make more and more money.
Yes.
You know why? Because money gives me a lot of, you know, comfort, lot
Yes.
of this thing.
That's their
So
experience. That's how they have grown.
yeah, and that gets passed on, you know, to every individual, maybe 2 or 3 of them selectively because of a homegrown different mindset. They can adopt a different strategy in their lives. But by and large, the society takes that, you know, money is the biggest motivator, power is the biggest, you know, becomes power hungry and blah, blah, blah. So there is an element of, you know, how do you develop self in a society where majorly this kind of a thing is happening? Right? Even the school education today, you know, I mean, there is hardly any value being imparted in the schools rather than, you know, going after grades and marks and all that. So that's why importance of counselors comes in, right? Who are going to be the breeders of this? Probably one of the best motivators for children to have a growth mindset are, you know, having good counselors in the schools, in the society, and encouraging parents, encouraging, knowing well that, you know, I am not the right person to do so. Maybe we can give it to the counselor to do that bit of thing. I mean, just a thought. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And also, Devashish, parents can be the best counselors if they realize what their children are worth.
Yeah, and if I have a growth mindset, then only I can pass it on, right? If I
Yes,
don't have
yes,
one,
yes.
I have lost it in due course.
Yes,
So we
then
have to
it's,
figure out.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes. We do lose out. We do lose out.
Yeah.
Experiences after experiences, experiences after experiences. However,
Correct.
one spark of light can bring in that hope in all of us.
Yes.
You know, what is very, very interesting is, again, I would like to share because now I also into the world of counseling and coaching. So there are children who say that, you know, if they do not get admission in a particular college, life will be wasted for them.
Yeah.
Life will be wasted for them. I don't want to.
I'll give you an example from
Yeah.
live example, Partho, from my own family, my younger child. He still blames us why I was not given the chance to become a footballer. Right? So as parents, protective parents, education, right? All that stuff. But he still keeps that in mind. Whenever it comes to a heated discussion, you have not given me that opportunity. So for him, that was the growth mindset. I should have guided him to that, maybe. I don't know. He had a good talent. Yes. Correct.
The wonderful thing is, if I ask which parent today would want his or her child not to shine in the world, it is probably a thought which comes in. And I agree, Devashish, this happens everywhere. You know, guilt, shame, regret, remorse, they all come from, no, you know, not practicing not yet. And if we practice not yet, somewhere down the line, that little spark of hope can be ignited. And I'm very happy that today researches are happening, and because of the social media, these are coming known to us. Earlier also it was happening, but it was not known to us. Today, if you see at the end of the video, Stanford education or something was mentioned. So they are doing a lot of studies. And
Right.
I agree that counseling means it starts with respect for the other person, even if it is a child's. They also demand respect. They also deserve respect. Respecting them and then moving to something where there is a possibility and it's not stuck. where it's not stuck. But a ray of hope is, if it has happened in a school in USA, I'm sure it will not be long that we, like our neighboring country Bhutan, can one day say, and I hope that day is not far, that we are also amongst the happiest quotients, countries with the happiest quotients. Our happy quotients, is very high, and we are one of the happiest countries. Changing a country might be difficult, but changing a neighborhood can be easier. Changing a home can be easier. And till we meet next Sunday, let's keep with that hope. Next Sunday, we will be back with growth mindset. We will be doing much more talks, and I will be sharing. And in the meantime, I request any one of you get good videos or good materials. And if you want to contribute, that would really be good. That would really be good. Right. And so with that, I would conclude today's session. I hope this session was helpful in realizing, in understanding. And we also, I think Carol Dweck, I must thank her. She will not be listening to me now. I mean, but I do not know whether I will be able to reach her. But I think the changes that are being made in spite of such adversities are really good. And Debashish, once again, I really thank you and Treasures of Innocence from the core of my heart for the work that you are doing. Deepak Bhai, that the work that you are doing towards the children, and I know what pain you take from traveling from one place to another, and that really talks about. So,
Partha, just time, please. I must mention one of our group members, Mrs. Sneha Takekar. She is also in education, and I am seeing her efforts last 10-12 years. She is the principal of one of the leading education institute in Satara, Pune. She is really traveling on the same path, or the expectation just Debashish mentioned about the education, the society, the parents, children relationship, and all other things.
Very nice.
I really always admire Sneha ji.
Salute
oh my
to
God,
you.
thank you.
Salute to you.
And Deepak ji, our training, it is fixed on mindset.
Yeah.
Now 8th or 9th, are you in Satara? We will conduct training for mindset.
I'm in Satara.
Okay. I have decided that now for our teachers.
Okay.
Definitely it is going to help for our institute.
Oh.
Thank you. That inspires me. And while you were saying,
thanks to Partha and this Carol Dweck.
No, don't. I mean, thank you so much for that love, Deepak Bhai. One thing that I would like to say is, I personally, I am for what my teachers made me, my parents made me, right? Right. That is one very important thing. So my pranam to all the teachers of the world, to all the parents of the world. I think they are really good. It is just that sometimes they also need help. They also need a lot of love and affection, right? So any help, anything that we can do, we'll do. And Snehaji, it was so inspiring to hear that you will do this training on 8th and 9th on mindset. And please let us know, once you do it, please let us know how it went and what effect did it have. So with that, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Let the next week be happiest. We'll again meet in the morning. Yes, Nehaji, you wanted to say something? You have unmuted.
Surely we will share it, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you,
day.
everybody.
Have a nice day. Thank you.